Hey, what's going on, everybody? Just wrapped up watching Miami win 70-13 over Bethune-Cookman. There's a lot to get into with this game. There were some positives, certainly, but I don't want to make too much of this game with Miami, top 25 team in the country, ranked number 16 in the preseason AP top 25, against an FCS opponent. Miami is supposed to do that and against a team like this in a game like this. So I don't want to get too wrapped up in the numbers, but certainly positive. Miami wants to run the ball. They ran for over 300 yards, over 7 yards a carry, 7 touchdowns with the group of guys. A couple of walk-ons got in there and scored as well. Terrell Walden the second, Devon Perry. Good to see Lucius Stanley get in the game. He showed up on Monday from UAB and got in the game today. But Henry Parrish, that's where it starts with the running game. 14 carries, 108 yards, 3 touchdowns. It was good that he got going. Jalen Knight dealing with a little bit of an injury. I don't think it's going to be long term. I think they held him out. He seemed to be in good spirits, seeing him on the sideline today. And then also some other noteworthy things. Coach came out and did say Jacoby George, 2 games of suspension. Isaiah Horton served a 1-game suspension, a freshman wide receiver trying to get in the mix. And then also Jalen Harrell, a guy that I've not seen all fall camp, is serving a 2-game suspension as well. So good for the running backs. Thad Franklin also had some good runs today, finished with 78 yards, 2 touchdowns. Thad's a guy that just takes advantage of these kinds of opportunities, and I think he's really important to this team because he does provide this running back room with something different with his size. So there were some times that he could have broke free with a little bit longer runs, but also he did run through tackles pretty well in today's game. Quarterback's got going as well, and I do want to touch on the defense because there are some things that I want to talk about there, some ups and downs on the defense that I want to talk about. But with the offense, Tyler Van Dyke, 193 yards, 2 touchdowns, 13 of 16, and then Jake Garcia comes in 8 for 8, 84 yards. So just really efficient by the offense today. And certainly it took a little bit for the offense to get going in terms of the passing game with the wide receivers. Henry Parrish was involved in getting some catches, but then Xavier Restrepo got that 52-yard catch. I thought it was a great play for Xavier to make, to come up with, and that's what I think his strength is. He has the ability to get downfield, and he came down with the ball, got behind the defense, hauled in the long pass, and got upfield a little bit too. It looked like he might have been able to score, from where I was sitting in the press box. Maybe he could have made a couple extra moves. Keyshawn Smith was kind of in there. I definitely want to watch the game back and watch the game film and see, maybe that play, but also a lot of other plays, in particular that there were a lot of players that played in today's game. And I'm really curious to see maybe if there's some young guys that stood out to me after watching the game film back. I touched on Keyshawn Smith, really good to see him break free. Again, when Miami's going to a game like this is what you want to see. You want to see your talent, really shine in a game like this. You want to see that you've got better players. And Mario Cristobal did say, certainly they've got an advantage from a personnel standpoint. And it showed up today. And one of the players did say, this was supposed to happen. This is what's supposed to happen in a game like this. So they're going to move forward, 1-0 in this game, but a lot of guys did well. I think that's good. I think it rewards the team and the guys, a number of guys, for performing well or just working hard all off season. So a lot of guys got in there. I think that's good to see. So Xavier Restrepo also caught a touchdown pass. I really like where Tyler Van Dyke placed that ball. And again, from where I was sitting in the press box, kind of had that back view, watching essentially from that back end zone and just watching Tyler with that pump fake. And I'm sure many of you guys saw it too on the replays or live. It was very definitive with his body fake, really. It wasn't just the arm pump fake that you see some quarterbacks do. He really sold it. And, he allowed Xavier to get behind the defense. This one was to his left. The 52-yard catch was to his right. But the left touchdown, 16-yarder, so Restrepo hauled it in. I thought it was a really good throw by Tyler Van Dyke, and that's what I wanted to see. I want to see these wide receivers make catches, make plays, because I do think it's important moving forward. And I know I posted something on the message boards during the live updates thread on our website, InsideTheU.com, but somebody did say, look, this is what Mario wants to do. He wants to create an identity up front and doing all these things, and I understand that. And they definitely want to do that, and they definitely did today. So that's good to see, and certainly we'll see if they can run the ball, with efficiency moving forward. But they like where this team is at. They feel like they've got a balanced offense where they can go to the run game more, or if they need to go to the pass game. And Tyler Van Dyke did say there's going to be games where they are going to throw it more. So I thought it was good that Tyler threw it in there. I also thought it was good Michael Redding III caught a touchdown pass. So just some efficiency with the throwing the touchdown passes in the red zone I thought was good for Tyler, but really good for the receivers to come down with some plays there, because I do think they're going to be very important. And also, Frank Ladson had a couple catches there. But again, going back to Keyshawn Smith and the return game, he was a guy that the coaches decided to put back there. He was a guy that I've liked as a potential kick returner based on what he did in high school, but the previous staff didn't do that. He only had one return, 22 yards last year, all season long. Today he gets a couple big returns going 70 plus on both of those, and certainly you want to see him finish it off, but the fact that he was able to do that in a game like this, maybe he's going to be a threat moving forward. Miami needs threats in the return game. We've not seen that, so that was good to see that they were able to get some kick returns, some big plays there. Also, Restrepo handled the punt return duties. So I saw Tyreek Stevenson and Malik Curtis, who I've talked about before, but they fielded punts and pregame warm-ups. And definitely stay tuned to the channel. I'm going to have pregame warm-up video for everybody to see in case either you were at the game, but maybe you showed up late, or just when you got here you weren't paying attention, or whatever it might be, or if you didn't go to the game, just to show you guys what goes on in pregame warm-ups. I'm excited to show you that, so definitely look for that in the future here. Okay, so let's talk about the defense, and definitely drop in the comments below. Let me know what you think about the defense in particular, because I find it to be very interesting, because they did have the 3 interceptions. I thought they got after the quarterback at times really well. I thought Akeem Mesidor on the defensive end spot there, I thought he looked really good, which is very encouraging. Tipped a pass that led to a Frierson interception, a pick 6 and a touchdown there. 3 interceptions. Camp Kitchens came down with 1, touchdown Frierson, and James Williams, a really nice play. The Camp Kitchens pick was really impressive too. So not just the easy picks, but the fact that they made some tough ones was good. I really like that. It's very important for this team to intercept passes, because they did not do that very much last year. So that was a good sign, and 3 different players did it. I really like that. And the secondary, it was all 3 secondary guys. So that's a very good sign. However, there were some things on defense that I was concerned with, particularly early on in the game. They gave up 3 20-yard passes in the first drive. That was not a good sign. And certainly they shut Bethune-Cookman down at times when they got down there to hold them to a field goal. They did allow a passing touchdown to a running back, missed coverage, blown coverage, whatever that might be. Cristobal did touch on that. But I thought that the pass defense was, again, up and down, because they had the interceptions, which was good, but Jones was able to throw for 249 yards. They were able to get some chunk plays. Tyreek Stevenson got beat on a 44-yard catch. And look, I know cornerbacks get beat. I'm not saying you got to shut down every single play. Bethune-Cookman's got some players that can play. But I thought as a whole, it was just up and down. I thought they were able to they gave up a little bit too many big passes there. I think they got to cut that down. And also Jones was at the quarterback spot, was able to get loose a little bit at times. So although Miami came away with this huge win, big on the scoreboard, they've got some things to work on. And I think that's what's great with game 1. No matter who you play against, whatever the result might be, moving forward, you've got to get better. So I know the coaches will look at this, and Gilbert Frierson did say, look, it's the first time that we've tackled, all year long, or, all season, because it's the first game, and it just takes a little bit. They do hit in practice. It's just different when you go in a game situation. So improvement to week 2 will be very key. Certainly you want to keep those pass defense numbers down. You don't want to get exposed there. But I really overall, I like that they got the interceptions. It's hard to harp on the defense, because overall it was pretty good. But just there were some things they've got to tighten up. But again, like I said, drop in the comments below. Were you guys really encouraged with the defense, or was it more the same? Particularly, I thought the linebackers struggled at times, and they've got to get that thing figured out. But I do like the defensive line. Struggled a little bit early, but I think they did a pretty good job. Again, watching that back on film will be something I watch for with that defensive line. Speaking of the defensive line, one of the things I noticed in pregame warm-ups, and this happens, it's nothing out of the ordinary. It just caught me, I just had a moment thinking about it, where all the position groups were out there, and then there was a moment where the offensive line and the defensive line went through a line where they were shaking each other's hands, hugging, doing all that thing. And the way I think about that, and again, not to say other teams haven't done this or anything like that, but It just, to me, was a moment where these guys have been battling, in particular these two groups, all fall camp. The O-line is always going at the D-line, and I know the other groups do as well, but it's very physical. I just thought with this game, it's just a very stark reminder that this team is all as one. And even though all the battles that this team had, they actually are on the same team. Sometimes we forget that because it's always offense versus defense, very competitive environment, particularly on the defensive and offensive lines. But again, they had this good moment before the game. I noticed it. I don't know if anybody else did. Once again, it could happen with other teams. It just, I thought it was something to remind everybody that, yeah, everybody, this is a Hurricanes team, and now they can go out and kind of do this together. And Xavier Restrepo actually said that to James Williams, where, you know, he's looking forward to not facing him, looking forward to going against another team. So, you know, just another reminder that these guys are all on the same team, certainly going to be competitive all year long, but now they're really coming together. They're going to do this together moving forward. And yeah, I think the rush defense was pretty good, held them under 100 yards. Quarterback was able to get loose a few times, but that's a number you'd like to see. Again, game one, moving forward. Miami got the win. It's tough to really expect everything in a game like this. But like I said, drop in the comments, let me know what you think. I'm going to wrap this up. I've got more work to do, but definitely stay tuned to the channel. More videos coming, also more analysis. And if you've not been on InsideTheU.com, what we do after the game is we really do a great job of breaking down how many plays guys played. You know, we'll really take a look at this depth chart moving forward because it was a big mystery going into it in terms of these first couple units, but because so many guys play, we actually got to see the third unit and fourth unit, so we'll have a complete breakdown of that, you know, moving forward this next day or two. And then we get ready for Southern Miss, game 2. Already looking forward to that and seeing how that game goes. So file this away. Overall, it was a success. Mario Cristobal is excited for this team to get its win, and we'll move forward with everything that we're doing with the channel and the website. So thanks again for everybody for watching. Drop in the comments below, and take care.